Well, happy Mother's Day. Today we're gonna do a little update on how things have been going on our little farm here because I can actually relax a little bit today. It's nice. And I'm actually having a cup of tea because the weather actually kind of cooled down a little bit. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and then show you some things. We started from seed, some milkweed and lavender here, and you can see we're missing the lavender. So not sure what happened there, but I did go to pick up 2 lavender plants, and I'll get those planted there a little bit later today to hopefully make this a little lavender and milkweed bed for our butterfly friends. Over here, some of the, I think it's pronounced alyssum, that we wanted to use as a little ground cover here in front of the mint is finally taking hold, so that will spread pretty well in that space. So we found out yesterday that our Australian Shepherd, he just helps himself to the blackberries. There were some good ones that were on there, and yeah, he just goes over, eats them as he pleases. So this is actually just a wild blackberry. We noticed it growing in the yard here, and it's not anything like, they won't get very big or anything like that, but they do produce some good little berries. And we just quit mowing this area, and I'm sure in a couple years this will get a lot bigger, and then maybe we'll get even more blackberries. So a new addition is this electric fencing, and this is from Premier One, I believe, and I am just thoroughly impressed with how easy it was to set up and how easy it is to kind of just move around as we need it. This is mainly to keep Tucker out of the garden. Oh, hey, speaking of Tucker, hey buddy. And it's helped. He's a little bit crazy. But we've been able to keep Tucker out of the garden, and when the chickens do escape their run here, hush. When the chickens escape, they have been able to stay out of the garden as well, which is great. But the green grapes, I think I've mentioned this before, this is only our 3rd year, I think, of this grapevine. So we have very few green grape bunches. I'm trying to find a couple, but yeah, so there's a little bit right there, which is really a lot different than what's on the red grape vines over here. So, let me walk over this. The red grapevines just have a ton on them. So, we're excited to maybe get some jelly made. That'll be really fun. But yeah, the red grapes have just gone crazy. Hey chicks, how y'all doing? Hello. So I wanted to show you something. So we have 2 maple trees here. That is in my brother-in-law's yard. There's a maple tree over there. I'm trying to get away from the grapevines. And then we have this maple tree that grows in with the chickens here. I think this one was planted maybe a year or so after that one, but I think because of all the chicken poop and everything in here, this one is much bigger, which is cool. It helps give a lot of shade, and these grapes also help give shade to the chickens during the hot summer. Today's really cool. It's very nice. It's only about 60 degrees out here. We were having some 80 degree days, and it's getting really warm. All right, so something I really have wanted to be successful at is growing rhubarb, and last year it died. So this year we moved it, and we decided on a different location. It's doing really well, but I planted 2, and the other one next to it died. So here's the one that I planted earlier, and there was one in this location. I've since filled in that hole. It sprouted, it did come out, but then it got drowned and it died. So we bought some more and we put it up here. So now hopefully we'll have 2, and they're kind of at the same elevation, so that one shouldn't drown, and this one should continue to thrive. We're hoping. Fingers crossed. And the fencing is doing its job keeping the dogs and the chickens out. So our garden, we basically we have dirt. We don't really have soil in this part of the garden yet. This is some new area that we disturbed for this year's growing, but luckily peanuts don't need really good soil, so we planted some peanuts, and there's one that's come up. So we have 2 rows of these peanuts here, and they tend to like this red clay, so we're excited to see how those do. I guess my husband's grandfather used to plant peanuts in this field before, so they should do okay. So next to the peanuts, we have our melons, which you probably can't see real well, but they're in this row. And, hush Tucker. So we have cantaloupe, honeydew, watermelon, both thumb melons, and yellow watermelon. And then we have tomatoes here. We'll get the cages around them when they get a little bit bigger, but these are a Marzano tomato, so we can make our sauce. The peas are just about done. My husband and son have picked the majority of the peas. There are a few pea pods left. They'll probably do one more picking, and then we'll pull these up. And this will become the second planting of corn. So we'll end up with another 2 rows of corn here. In this row we have zucchini and squash, and our peppers way at the end. And zucchini and squash we've never had a problem growing. They grow really well here in South Carolina. And then here's the corn. We have 4 rows of corn right there, so that's looking really well. Everything's doing good so far. So over here to the box gardens, the snap peas here that you can just eat, they're coming along really well. My son likes to come out here and just grab peas, so that's cool. The Rainier cherry came back really well. Super excited about that. It provides some nice afternoon shade for these peas actually. The raspberries are just amazing. I think because they're right next to our bee friends. They're just buzzing around. You guys, I love these bees. I did close up their entryway a little bit today because it did get cooler. They haven't been having to fan or anything lately, so I'll open that back up a little bit more when it gets hotter. Still no cucamelons, but the nasturtium is doing really good. Look at all those beautiful flowers. I haven't figured out how to add them into salads yet, but apparently they're edible. So we'll do that in a little bit. This is a plum tree. We're gonna get a couple of plums. We're waiting a couple more years and then we'll do good. Green onions and red onions are in this box. I do have some marigolds that are coming up, which is nice. I can't wait. Probably in a few weeks, these boxes will look completely different because all of the wildflowers will be up. So we do have some wildflowers along this box as well with the carrots inside, and our apricot tree. Another box of raspberries. We have our lone, this is a thornless blackberry that we planted. So our thornless blackberries right there. And my daughter's strawberries are still doing strong. She gets like 5 or 6 a day, comes out here and eats them. Another apricot tree. And last but not least, over here we have our potatoes. We have some small red potatoes and then some sweet potatoes. I'll get some sticks in here, some little bamboo kind of things for them to trellis up. But there's one hiding right there, a little sweet potato. This box got really full because I didn't think anything was gonna grow, and then kind of they all sprouted, so I probably will need to do a little bit of thinning. It's not a lot of space for those potatoes. And here's our last plum tree. So yeah, our little garden space is coming along. When these trees get to full size, it'll be really amazing in here, I think. It'll be nice shade for the boxes and also provide some more things for the bees to pollinate. I'm in the process right now, so I have some really old, not really old, but some ready compost in this box. I'll be using that when I plant my pumpkins in a few months. This pile, I'm going to be working on splitting it and putting it up. I didn't have any sticks or anything up underneath this one to provide that oxygen flow to the bottom. So we're gonna put this pile onto this pallet and get another good compost heap going. So our little farm's coming together. You guys have a wonderful day and have a great work week coming up. Have fun. Bye.